Hey guys, what's up? It's Pedro here. So, on the last video, I gave you guys 3 tips on what not to do while dropshipping on eBay. So now I'm gonna give you guys 3 tips on what to do while dropshipping on eBay. So let's get into it. So the first tip is optimize your listings. Okay, I see a lot of mistakes done by various dropshippers that when they list a product and it starts to get momentum, it starts to get their first sale, their second sale, their fifth sale, they forget about it. They just forget about it. It goes by a week, 2 weeks, a month, 2 months, and then what happens? The product dies. They stop getting sales for that product. But you have to realize that you have to go back and renovate the listing. You have to keep updating the titles, keep updating sometimes the descriptions. Maybe you got to keep changing it. You got to keep updating the pricing and stay competitive and all those things. Go back and check, like for example, did more competitors come on the market? Did their titles change? What keywords are better to use? Do you need to take out keywords? Do you need to put in better pictures? Maybe your supplier put in better pictures and you can use those because maybe those are better. You need to keep eBay wants you guys. eBay wants you to keep momentum going. eBay wants to see movement. If you show that a listing is dead, it just died. You list it once, you take care of it in the beginning when you list it, and then you just forget about it. You never use it again. eBay will just not think it will just not keep your listing alive. I mean, think it through, guys. There's okay, you got seller A and you got seller B. Seller A keeps his listings constant updating. He's very involved. He keeps checking on competitors and checks his pricing. He changes his pricing. He stays competitive in his pricing. He stays competitive in his descriptions. He stays competitive in his titles. And seller B does not. Just leaves it there one day, and maybe he starts to get sales, but he just never comes back to the listing, never checks, never changes anything, never updates anything. Who do you think eBay is going to prefer? The person who is constantly working at it, working on their eBay store and checking things, or the person who is not? Obviously, the second option. Obviously, eBay is going to check. eBay is going to pick the person, the seller, that is checking on their listings. So, guys, I mean, just check the listing. Don't let it die. Don't just check it once. Come back and check your listings rather than going on and listing 1,000 new products and 1,000 new. Just check the listings you have. Just that. That's the first tip. Okay. The second tip is just dedicate time to the business, guys. I know this is a little bit obvious, but there's so many sellers out there that do not dedicate time actually to their business. Get to know your business, get to know the industry you're in, actually be self-aware of where you're at and how you're performing. Don't just check out the eBay metrics, check them yourself, check your own status, check your own metrics. Like for example, if you go and you buy a product and you sell it and you send it out to a customer, and you have in your shipping, handling, and policy that it'll get there in 4 days, and you check it on your supplier and it gets there in 9 days. I mean, you're gonna have to fix that. You're gonna have to fix that, guys. eBay knows that. eBay tracks that type of stuff. So get to know your business. I mean, get to know, like I mentioned in the first step, get to know your titles, get to know your pricings. Do you have a shipping policy set? Do you have a return policy set? A shipping and handling? What keywords are you using? Do they make sense? I see that some listings have keywords that do not really make sense. I see a lot of mistakes done by this. It's mainly because, guys, the sellers are not aware in the business they're not really involved in their business. They're just listing tons and tons and tons and tons of products and in hope that a customer buys and gets sales. And that's not how you're gonna make money on eBay. You might get 1 or 2 sales, yeah, but you're not really going to make money on eBay just by listing and listing and listing and not knowing what you're listing. Check out the prices. Check out. I mean, just guys, get involved. Really get involved in the business. Get to know the business. Get to know your supplier. What problems will you have? What suppliers are there? How many times does your supply run out of stock? Is the product that you're sourcing have how many feedbacks does it have? What's the recent sale did it get? Did your competitors sell that specific product one time or 10 times or 100 times or 10,000 times or 50,000 times? You need to check those metrics, guys, and just get to know. And then when you get to know that stuff and you start to put all those dots together, then is when you're going to be able to actually make profits, because you actually know the business and you can be ahead of the curve than most people, than all your competitors, because you actually got to know the industry. You actually got to know your competitors. You know how to sell, what to sell, for exactly what price to sell. You know all that. So that's the second tip. Now, the third tip is credit cards. The third tip, guys, it's really credit cards. Now, when you start to get momentums on listing and you start to make 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, 15,000, 20,000, 30,000 a month on sales, you can really, really take advantage of credit cards, guys. And I really, really recommend this. Why? Because this is the first reason is it's because for the long term, you're going to be able to get a whole lot of better deals, not just on your business, but it'll benefit you in your personal life. If you want to get, for example, a mortgage, or you want to get a loan, or you want, or for example, let's say you've got student loans and you want to renegotiate them, you want to renegotiate your car payments, your house payments, it's just really an advantage. Not carrying debt, by the way, you should always 100% of the time pay your credit cards off and do not carry debt on your credit card. Okay, so first of all, when drop shipping, if you use Amazon as a supplier, get the Amazon Prime store card. Get it. It gives you 5% cashback on all Amazon purchases every time. Okay, so if you spend, for example, $10,000 a month just on buying things on Amazon for your eBay business, that will represent $500 just in cashback. So $500 a month. If you're doing 30,000, that'll be 1,500 a month just on cashback. Okay, just on the back end. That is not counting your actual profits in the front end of your business. And when you use that month after month after month, it starts to stack up, guys. It starts to stack up. Now, if you're in the first part of your business, if you're a beginner and you're just starting out and you're not 2 years or 4 years into the business, get this card so you can get some momentum, so you can get some more money. But after that, I really recommend you start getting into other cards. For example, and this is a topic that I'm really I really like. It's called credit card churning. You can Google it. I'm not really gonna go into depth here, but you can use the benefits that other cards offer for free. And since you're making a lot of volume in sales, and for using the credit cards, you will be able to bypass most of the bank's obstacles for using the credit cards that you see. For example, spend $4,000 in the first 3 months and get this bonus. You get free travel for this. You get this amount of cash back, or those type of bonuses. Most people can't actually spend those $4,000 in the first 3 months, and so they don't get the bonus. But since you're doing a lot of volume on your drop shipping business, you can actually use this, and you can actually really, really, really easy for you to get these cards and get these bonuses. These will represent in sometimes cashback. Sometimes you can get them in points, in Chase UR points or Marriott points or whatever. Um, that you can later you can use them for travel, you can use them for hotel, for all sorts of stuff. And the benefit of this is that not only you get the benefit of those rewards, but you can actually use them in the long term, because you're building your credit, you're building a rapport with the bank, and you'll be able to, for example, get a better loan on get better rates for a loan, get a better mortgage deal, just your lifestyle can improve just by doing that. So it's kind of a plus. It's not in the dropshipping business topic, but it will actually benefit you in the long term. So uh, anyway, that's the third tip, guys. The first one is just optimize all your listings. Don't let them go dead. The second one is be involved actually and get to know the industry you're in, get to know your competitors, your suppliers, get to know your own listings, get to know your own metrics. And the third one is use credit cards. And by the way, if you want your first tip for the third tip, the credit cards, start with the Amazon Prime store card, or there's another card that actually offers the same deal, 5%, but it's actually offered from Chase. You can, if you go on the on Amazon.com and you check on the lower listing, you can see them there. If not, um, if you actually got over that and you want to take advantage a little bit more about the credit cards, check out the Chase Freedom, guys. That's a really good card. That's a card for beginners. um, if you have no credit whatsoever, like no report with the bank, if you've never gotten a credit card, I recommend you start with the Amazon Prime Store Card Credit Builder. Okay, it's okay. Yeah, that's all for today, guys, and give it a thumbs up, and shout out to Graham Stefan, who was a person who introduced me to credit cards, and it's actually a topic that's now very dear to my heart, and I can't thank him enough. If you want to go and check out his channel, I'll link it in the description below. His channel is about finance and just general finance and intelligence, and also credit cards. So go and check him out, guys, and thanks.